Good evening, everyone. At least it's evening here. And this video is about some words in the original languages of the Bible. We are going to go just a little bit into Greek, Aramaic, don't be scared, Hebrew. So we start now, and the main text is one of the main texts that we are going to look at is Daniel chapter 7, where we find this expression here, Ios anthropo, which means son of man. Who does this expression remind you of? So we're talking about the Messiah. In Daniel chapter 7, verse 13, it speaks about the Messiah coming to rule, and we know now, okay, that this Bible verse speaks about Jesus. Of course, Greek is not the original language of Daniel chapter 7. Daniel is a book written in two languages. It's a unique phenomena in the Old Testament. Chapter 1 and the first, I think about first three verses of chapter 2 and from chapter 8 to the end are written in Hebrew, but from chapter 2 through chapter 7 included, the book is written in Aramaic. Okay, now I'm sorry for two things. First of all, because of my voice, but I got a cold. The weather is crazy, and so I got this cold here. But I wanted to do this. I really care about sharing with you. It's in my heart. I just opened up the Bible. I mean, in my cell phone. You know, these apps, I'm using Bible Hub here. I suggest you use it. It's amazing with the languages, all the languages of the Bible and explanations and everything you need. Bible Hub is amazing. Well, as far as the original languages are concerned. So, and it's a very quick reference. And also, I'm sorry because my video is not being edited in a special way. It's a bit rough. I know it's. I should have I should record the voice better and stuff. But the risk is, if I want it to be too perfect, it's never going to happen. So I want it to happen, and I wanted to share with you. So now the word which is son of man in the Aramaic is kebar. Uh, Ke is the preposition. Bar means son, and then enash, as you can see, is highlighted there. Enash means of man. In the Bible Hub, you have here the original word. It tells you is you read it from right to left, and it's bar with the same alphabet as the Hebrew language. Okay, as a matter of fact, the alphabet of the Hebrew language isn't the alphabet of the Aramaic language, but we not want to go into that. So bar in Aramaic means son. Of course, we all know that in Hebrew it's not bar, but it's ben. We know that. We'll see it later. Before the end, we're gonna go just a little bit into the Hebrew language, and then we have Enosh, which means of man, the son of man. The son of man is an expression that Jesus recalls in the Olivet Discourse. And throughout the Gospels, he refers to himself sometimes in the third person, well, maybe most of the times in the third person, and it's a messianic title. It refers, they understood. When he was saying the Son of Man, they knew he was talking about the Messiah. And as we know, the New Testament is written in Greek. And this is why I showed you um, Daniel into the Greek translation, which is the Septuagint, because that's where the New Testament authors took their Greek language. It's biblical Greek, it's Koine, it's a variation that has a lot of influence from the Hebrew, which I define and many scholars define biblical Greek. Here we'll look at Matthew 24 and 30, which speaks about Tosemeion, which is the sign to you, of the Son, to anthropo, of men. So the translation, the words he uses, ios and anthropos, which are here, the declension is the genitive. So they become to you, to anthropo, which means of the Son of Man, is an open reference to Daniel 7 and 13. I just suggest you go and read Daniel chapter 7, you go and read Matthew chapter 24. It's going to be very enlightening and it's going to be a blessing. We are looking at the original languages, but you can just have a look in your translation, um, whatever you use. Maybe when you use more than one, but please, when you read for study purposes, it's better that you use a literal translation of the Bible. Usually, Bibles like the New Living Translation and similar, which use dynamic equivalences, are good Bibles, of course. They are. I'm not saying you use it, but the purpose is different. You don't use it when you study because they paraphrase, they add words you don't find in the original, and they sort of adapt some other words. So, but when you look at a literal translation like the King James, for example, and to a certain extent, I believe even the New King James Version and maybe the NIV, then you have the literal translation of the word. Okay, I must be honest. I believe the King James is better. It's a lot more literal. Why a literal translation? Because when the Bible translate the Hebrew into Greek, it does in a literal way. So I believe that the Bible promotes a literal translation of itself. Okay, that's my opinion, but it is also a bit of a fact. Sorry, because when you find a translation of one Bible passage in the Hebrew and when you find it in the New Testament in Greek, it's a literal translation. Stuff like dynamic equivalences and other things came later. Okay? So, Eos means son. You see how useful Bible Hub is? We'll find it here. And anthropos here means man, the son of man. So we find it in the Aramaic of Daniel 7:13. It was translated into Greek by the translators of the Septuagint. All right. And then the same vocabulary was used when writing the Gospel of Matthew and the rest of the Gospels, which refer to Jesus as the Son of Man, Ios, to anthropo, the Son of Man. I just wanted to share this with you. Simple, very simple. I will post this in my Facebook page and on my YouTube account, the Facebook page where I promote my Greek classes. Very simple. When you use an app like Bible Hub, I also have a video on my YouTube channel where I explain how I quickly explain how Bible Hub can be useful for you if you don't know it. But a lot of people are using that and stuff like that because these days it's very easy to have access to the original, and you better do it if you can. Why not? Now, just to end this little conversation, as I was studying, Hoyos Anthropo, the Son of Man and stuff, then I thought of Jesus being called the Son of Man. The Bible speaks about him as being a true man because he was born of Mary. And this is so important. Do not underestimate the fact that Jesus was a true man, because these days no one says he wasn't. Basically, there is that kind of distorted teaching is not in use these days, as far as I know. But in the primitive church, in the early church, there were those who denied that Jesus was a real man. So That had a lot, it had a meaning, very strong meaning, to say that Jesus was the Son of Man. Plus, in the Gospel of John, we find that he can be a judge. He's a perfect judge. He's a good judge. He knows how to judge because he's the Son of Man. This is important because also a mediator has to have of both parts. So being Son of Man and Son of God, he's a perfect mediator. Otherwise, he could not be equally mediating, being in the middle and mediate between us and God. The last passage I want to refer to is 1 John 5:20, which I love. This one speaks about Jesus as the Son of God. Because as we understand that Jesus is the Son of Man and he's a man, at the same time, we have to face this. Some people deny it, but that's evidence. Jesus is the Son of God. So he is God. Okay. Very simple. We're not going to go deep into this with hours of lessons, but we look at a Bible passage. It's 1 John 5:20, which I love. And you know why I love it? Because of all the Bible passages that the New World Translation of the Jehovah's Witness corrupted, and I wrote a book on this topic. It's the Jehovah's Witnesses Bible. It's on Amazon if you want to get it. And of all the Bible passages that they corrupted, they kept this one intact. At least, when I looked at the last version of it, because every time they surprise me with new stuff. They come up with new incredible things. Like, for example, in the past, like during the 60s, they were translating John 1:1, and the word was God, but with a small g. Then they came up with that. See, there was this kind of illumination. Oh, you can translate a God. All right now. Wow. Well, incredible. All right, you came up with that. Nobody knew about it before. Now you came up with that. Cool. All right. But until the 60s, they didn't know it. A grammatic rule, a grammar rule that has to be evident for us today was not evident even to them before the 60s. Come on. Anyways, but this Bible passage is the same in their Bible. And it says like this. Oidamen, we know. And oido is a verb that speaks more about revelation than understanding. Because there are two ways of referring to knowing in the Greek. One is ginosko, and which is knowing, but through the experience. And one is oido, which is knowing, but it refers more to a knowledge, Like I say, I know I am my father's son. Something I know. I mean, that's it. I know it. But if I say, I know that I can trust you, then it's more ginosko than oido, because I know that I can trust you because of the experience that I had with you. We're friends, and so I can trust you. I hope you understand this little difference. So, oidamen de oti o. So we know that o ios, the Son, tutewu, of God, ike, is come. Kai dedoken, and has given, emin, us, dianoian, understanding, inaginoscomen, ton aletinon, so that we may know. You see now the verb is ginosko. We may know the true one. All right? Isn't it so clear? Okay, we have a knowledge of God. We have experienced God. That's how we know Him, because we have, it's a direct experience when you receive His Spirit, and you know about the things of God, and you learn about the Bible, and then you have confirmation through the miracles. That's the kind of knowledge. So ginoskomenton aletinon, so that we may know Him who is true. Listen to these amazing words here. I love this Bible passage. All right, maybe one day I will be talking more about this. Kai esmen en to aletino, and we are in Him who is the true one. So we know him and we are in him. That's powerful. This is personal experience. And it's not personal only intellectually, but spiritually. And it's not only um, knowing about God, but it's intimacy with God. We are in him. That's amazing. That's possible only because of the Holy Spirit. Ento yo auto Jesucristo. In the Son of him and his Son, Jesus Christ. So Jesus Christ is the Son of God. This is how it is possible for us to have knowledge of the one who is the true one, the true God, and how it is possible to be in intimacy with the true God because of the Son, Jesus Christ, because of his Son, Jesus Christ, God manifest in the flesh. And now, listen to the end of this wonderful chapter. And then you have a period. Then, utos estin o letinos theos kai zoe aionios. He who? He who is Jesus. Estin is oletinos, the true, theos, God, kai zoe aionios, and life eternal. You may believe that Jesus is God. You may not believe that Jesus is God. But let's be honest. You look at this Bible verse, you read it in Greek. Probably you read in every translation of the world. I don't know if they manipulated this Bible passage as well. But if they didn't, it's still there. Jesus is God because he's the Son of God. When the Bible refers to us as children of God, it uses the word tekna. And when it speaks about us being yoi, it speaks about in the plural. And John made it clear that Jesus has a special relationship being the Son of God, saying that he is the only begotten Son. Monogenes in the Greek. So it's all clear. And I want to tell you something. If in the Greek, John had to say, I don't know what tricks they may be doing in the translation. I don't know. But that's the reason why I learned the Greek language. In this as well as in other Bible passages. But if John wanted to say that Jesus was the true God and life eternal, this was the way he was supposed to write it. That's the way it should have written that. And in fact, I tell you, I know you will be surprised by this, and it's something I really use very, very frequently. The Bible says what it says. And in this Bible passage, the Bible says what it says, that he is the true God and life eternal. And as you can see, the subject is Jesus Christ. I just wanted to share this with you. I hope it's been a blessing. We are serving a God who sent his Son, and his Son is a true man and is a true God. And glory be to God for this. He's a perfect mediator. He could pay the price. Otherwise, he could have never paid the price if it wasn't a true man and if it wasn't a true God. And I wanted to share this with you in the original language. And one last thing I want to share is this. It's highlighted here. If in Matthew 24 and 30, translating the expression the Son of Man in the Hebrew is Ben Ha-Adam. So this is the Hebrew, just for the sake of curiosity. If, had Daniel 7:13 been written in the Hebrew, it would have said Ben Ha-Adam. But God knows why he wrote that. He wanted that part of Daniel to be written into Aramaic. And the fact is, the fact of the matter is very important. At the time, the Aramaic language was like Greek today. He wanted everyone in the Middle East to know that that prophecy was about the coming Messiah. Okay? In fact, well, I don't want to. Okay, I'll tell you. I'll tell you. Where were the wise men coming from? They were coming from the east. And that's because the Aramaic of Daniel could be read by everyone in the Middle East. It was like English today at the time. So they knew that the Messiah, the King of the Jews, was coming. And that's no other way they could know except through the writings of Daniel. And also, the qualification that the Bible gives to these men is the same qualification that the Bible gives to Daniel in his book. But that's off the topic. So I hope you enjoyed this little journey inside the original languages of the Bible. If you like the video, please share it. If you think it may be useful to others, please share it. If you have suggestions, opinions, whatever, even questions, I'm open to that. Very welcome. And till the next video. Oh, please, if you have you are interested in studying the Greek language, you can go to my website, giuseppeguarino.com, which is my first and last name. If you're interested in my books, you go to Amazon, you will find all of them. You can go to Facebook, and I have a page which is called Beagle, which is Bible, Biblical, International Greek Language, Original Language, something like that. I'm sorry now, I failed with this, but I called it Beagle. It's it's Biblical Greek. I got it now. Biblical Greek Original Language. That's why I called it that way. Beagle. So I hope this video has been a blessing for you, and that my studies can be a blessing for you. My classes can be a blessing for you. The first lesson is online. It's free. You can enjoy just learning some basics of the Greek language to the glory of God. The more we know about the Word, the more we know about God as well. All right? God bless.